them now. I'm very old. So my voice isn't as strong as it used to be, so I apologize for that. If you can do mathematics, you can work out how old I am. Because my wife Hilary and I came to Uganda in 1970. We were teaching here, and I came when I was 22. So how old am I now? Very old, very old. So it's really nice to be back here. When I came, I was already knew I was new. I've been reading some books and I came across what humanism is. But what I've learned over the years is that most people in the world may not know what humanism is, but they are actually humanists. They may not have the name, but most people behave as humanists. And what to me was important, I've always been concerned about how we divide ourselves. And when we came to Uganda, Uganda was very firmly divided into tribe, Uganda, Choli, whatever. And that's changed. In Uganda now, very few people, the people think of themselves as Uganda. You know, a lot of people have come together. Marriage has been a lot of intermarriage and a lot of movement of people. And this is a good thing. And so I've always been concerned about how people are divided. It seems wrong to me because we all
taking pics na visani we don't check. Then kanon mahambara
yeah, I mean, that's the fundamental thing. We all human beings. And it seems to me that whoever, anywhere in the world, if you sit down with them quietly, you can partly have what tribe they have, but just talk to them as another human being, I find we're all the same. We all have the same worries, the same concerns, and there is a common humanity. I think there's a common humanity. And what, to me, these two have expressed very clearly what humanism is. But what to me, fundamentally, what humanism is that all recognizing we're the same and being kind towards each other. I think kindness is the most important thing. Not judging other people because they have a different view from you, but understanding we have a right to have our own opinion about things. We have a right to have our own religion. But we should all be kind towards each other. And that's the crucial thing. And most people are. When Hilary and I came to Uganda, we've always liked walking. We go walking. So we go out into the countryside and walk. So there'll be two Mzungus walking through the village. But what we found is people, they could see we were different from the skin. They could see we were different. But people were so kind. If you could go anywhere in Uganda, you could feel safe. You felt safe. People would say, are you thirsty? Do you want to drink? Do you want something to eat? And this is true, I think, right across the whole world. People are like this. And unless people start posting banners saying, I'm this, I'm that, we're different, we're not different, we don't enjoy different. So from an early time, I was brought up from a child by my parents as a Christian. And I went to church, went to Sunday school, went to church, and that was fine. It was a good community, people cared about each other. And I think this is true of any of our religious communities are the same. People care for each other within the community. But to me as a humanist, it's important that we care for each other outside our communities as well. You know, that we put a hand of friendship out to everybody, whatever their beliefs. So long as they behave well towards other people. And it's very important we all behave well towards other people. And this is why, of all the 10 commitments, to me, the one above everything else was the most important. They're all important, but the one above everything else, most important, is empathy. Is empathy. So empathy is, if you tell me something about yourself, if you tell me about your problems, say, I don't look, I can be sympathetic towards you. Oh, you're having a bad time, I'm very sorry. But if I'm empathetic, I just try very hard to imagine what I would feel like if I was facing your problems, if I was facing the same problems. You know, and that really is, it's a very important thing. If all human beings showing sympathy, oh, you know, I feel sorry for you, that's fine. But actually really trying to understand, you know, because very often people behave in a way that seems bad. But in fact, if you understand their circumstances, then you might understand them. For example, in a school, I've got to be careful here because I may say the wrong thing. But in a school, if a child arrives late, and when I was a teacher, I did not like people arriving late. Because once I'd started my lesson, at the beginning of my lesson, I liked to tell students what I was going to do, so they understood what the purpose of the lesson was. And if somebody arrived late and they missed my introduction, I was very annoyed with them. But the thing is, if you, so I know some teachers here will say, come here, don't be late to my class anymore. But that's not being very empathetic because any possible thing could have happened to that child that morning to make them late. I mean, all right, some people are just always going to hit them, but you should never hit people. You should never ever hit people. Before you chastise them, you say, you are running late. Oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. Okay. But I think in Uganda, sometimes people are not very forgiving. Yeah, often they are, but sometimes they're not. And I worked with Makerere University, and I was in the School of Education at Makerere, and the teacher who was doing a postgraduate course at the university, he came, knocked on the door of the head of department and said, excuse me, sir, the assignment that was due in tomorrow, I'm going to be late, and I need a few more days. And the head of department said, what's the problem? And the teacher said, the teacher who was a student at the gallery said, no, not this guy. Now I would have said, I'm really sorry to hear that. Of course you could have to wait for 2 days. It just seems a human response to me. But in fact, the head of department said, what? You're asking for extra time because your mother's dying? Everybody's mother's dying. Everybody's dying. You have to act. Well, that was a failure to show empathy, I think. That was a complete failure to show empathy. And I knew what the person who was saying it, I knew well, and he was a good man, but I think he was wrong to behave that way. So, right, who should we be good to? We should be good to everyone, including ourselves, because we're part of society. And so, some people think humanism, humanity, religion is all about doing good for others. Well, we should do good for others. But we also have to, we are important too. And so, what I say to people in Britain when I talk to humanist groups, it's about, if we can create a good society where people are kind, and we're good to ourselves, we're good to our family, we're good to our friends, we're good to the whole of humanity. What more can we ask for? And I think that's the fundamental thing. I think, do you think it's good to understand people's problems? They all say yes. Do you think it's good to act responsibly? Well, do you think it's good to count all of these to show humility? Yes. Is it good to take care of the environment? If we don't take care of the environment, we will die. The human race will die if we don't take care of the environment. And all of these things, all of these ideas, I think everything. And so I really, so why would you come together as humans? Because you can express the values to others, you can do things together and having fun. You can have fun for you as well, coming together in a club like this. And I'm sure it was tremendous fun making the song. So when they cut the CD, and when you're appearing on TV, singing the song, this could be the beginning of your musical career. Have you heard of Michael Schumacher? He probably started singing Uganda. Okay. Do you have any questions? You ask me. I may not answer. But I will promise to answer truthfully. Sorry? Yes. Well, I taught geography and economics. So let me tell you, when we came to Uganda in 1970, we arrived by plane. 2 days later, I was in the classroom, and then they said, your class is going on a field trip today. And we had to walk up to McHenry Hill and do the geography that we could see around McHenry Hill. I'd never seen it. I'd never seen the place. Never seen it. And I had to take a class. What was I going to say? So I went back to basic geography principles. Right, class, look over there. What can you see? Can you see the vegetation? Trees as forests. and there's farming on the slopes of the hills. And I didn't know why at the time. I know now that the sides of the hills are fertile, and the top of the hill is infertile because it's laterite. But I didn't know then. And then what can you see in the bottom of the valleys? And I learned there was swamp. There's a lot of Ugandan swamp. You see very few rivers in Uganda unless you go to Kusesi or Bundibujo, where there are big rivers that are out last week. So they have two roads coming to Kutumbusko. 2 weeks ago, the bottom road, the bridge was washed away. Yesterday, the bridge at the top road was washed away. So they're now an isolated community, a completely isolated community. And anyway, so I taught geography and I learned a lot very quickly, and economics. So I actually studied economics a little bit at Macquarie. Any more questions? Go on. The only other, I say to my children, our young son had his birthday last month, and our young son came with us here in February. You may have seen this. Now, how old do you think our young son was in his birthday in September? What age do you think he must have been? How old? Yeah, how old was our son? Well, Hillary is at home, not very well. She has a heart problem. Yeah. Anyway, our son last month was 50. Our little son, our little boy, is now 50. Do you have any other questions? From you? One last question.
So we're students and we're studying here. And you have been as an age you say you are old. So is there any advice you could give to us or any word?
Yes, I do actually. When I was 50, I had a thing like a cancer in my throat. They had to cut my throat, take my throat, and cut it out. And I survived. Okay. But I thought I was going to die. But since then, I've realized to live for every single day as if it is my last day. So I think if you all live your life, assuming this is your last day, and make the best of the day. I know it's easy for somebody old to say that, but get the most out of every day. That would be my piece of advice.
It's nice to see that you are organized in a group that can help others. So as I'm going to tell you that do not care for other people when they're still living on earth. Maybe sometimes people will go to heaven, but that's not our business in heaven. But when you are living without colleague here, it's very important that you care for that person when you are living. You know, these privileged people are basing on their color, their religion, and so on. So we must care for other human beings. And fight to make sure that they improve the environment where they are living. You don't destroy the environment. You do that, I've seen you getting involved in environmental conservation around. Very important that you pass the world, the new generation, what is better than when we found it. So please, when you see a human being, all human beings are born equal with dignity. So you treat them in the most way that you guys will also be treated. Not all about humans. Humans can be by being Catholic, can be Muslims, can be Protestants, can be whatever. But how we define you as a humanist? If you care for others, you feel empathy for others. That is a humanist. You don't mind whether you are from Kasese, whether you are from Banana.